such a bad idea. Let's have a look. I take it your husband's making the application. Kevin Arnold Burns.
Yeah, Kevin.
Were you married long?
No. We had a ceremony and everything, but we were never really married. I just got his name and one day out with him.
What was he like?
Oh, I'd rather not talk about it. No, it must have been hard for him being married to a crim, especially being as straight as he was.
Right, okay. Well, let's read through the forms together then, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Bryant, Mrs. Davidson.
I'll bring her in.
Come on.
Well, Bryant, this is becoming quite a habit.
Hey, where's the welcoming committee?
Don't be impertinent. Escaping may be important in the eyes of the prisoners, but not to me.
No, ma'am.
We're going to be watching you very closely from now on.
Well, I'm not planning on going anywhere, am I?
I think it's unfortunate that you've taken this attitude. You came in here on a minor charge, and you are now publicly known as a dangerous criminal with a considerably increased sentence.
Well, that just goes to show you how effective rehabilitation is, doesn't it?
I'm going to suggest that you work hard at taking up a new interest. We have an education program here which may help.
Well, that's terrific. You know, I've always wanted to be an explosives expert.
That's enough, Bryant.
You will have to face the fact that you are going to be in here for some time. I think it's important you find something of value to do.
Value? Now, let me tell you something, Mrs. Davidson. The only valuable thing that I've done since I've been in here was to get out of the place and to make sure that certain people got what was coming to them.
What do you mean?
You were so smug on the television. The coroner's inquiry has proved that Sharon Gilmore's death was an accident. You just got out the usual whitewash.
That matter is closed.
You bet it is. Because Jock Stewart has got what he deserved.
On a divorce, the court has the power to settle disputes between you about property and can transfer property from one to the other. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Pack up, ladies. It's lunch.
No, that's only the muster bell.
Oh, I'll get used to it one day. Now, do you have any property?
Oh, just my mum's house, but I don't think Kevin would want to take that away from me.
Righto, ladies, move out.
Mrs. Morris, could I stay and talk to Mr. Andrews for a minute, please?
Bella's gone, Doreen.
But I'll only be a little while.
I'll bring her down, Mrs. Morris.
Very well, then.
It's funny being divorced.
It's very common these days.
Yeah, I know. But it's just that I feel as though nobody wants me anymore.
You shouldn't put yourself down like that, Doreen. It's very important that you don't let the divorce ruin your confidence.
What have I got to be confident about?
Oh, come on. You've got a lot going for you.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Yes, I do. I think you're very pretty.
And he's going to plant flowers all over the place. This place is going to look like the botanical gardens.
Want to make a change?
Oh, you should just have heard said. He knows the names of all the flowers. Did you know that you can get pink and white forget-me-nots?
Go on.
Yeah. God, I'm going to ask that teacher bloke if he can teach me some horticulture or whatever you call it.
Isn't he great?
Who, love?
Oh, Mr. Andrews, I just think he's so nice.
Now, hang on a minute. Don't tell me you're getting all mushy over the teacher.
Well, I reckon he's a bit of all right.
Yeah, just you remember that he's an officer. He may not be a screw, but he's still one of them. So just watch it.
I don't mind watching him at all.
You don't understand a thing I'm saying, do you?
Hey, where's the welcoming committee?
Where did he get caught? Oh, why? What happened?
Gee, it's really nice to see all of you.
Don't tell me you're happy to be back in here.
Oh, well, what do you think? Nothing's changed, has it?
Not a thing. Well, come on, you lot. Get a move on. See what I mean?
Hey.
How do you like being an officer?
I don't know, really. I don't feel like one.
Oh, you may not dress like one, and when it comes to the regulations, you'll find that you are.
Well, I hope the women won't see me that way.
Well, I suppose that depends on you.
Yes. The department didn't talk about this in the orientation course that I did. Mind you, I didn't get a chance to finish it.
What did they teach you?
Not much, really. Now that I'm on the job, I realize it didn't help at all. I'm flying by the seat of my pants a bit.
Oh, you'll get the hang of it.
I hope so.
I might come to class myself. I could learn something.
To join the classes, you're always welcome. It could even help relations with the prisoners.
Oh, I doubt it.
Oh, there you are. No, do sit down. I just wanted to make sure you knew about the classification meeting this afternoon.
No, I didn't.
Well, I'd like you to advise us on the progress of the women and how much time we should allot them for classes.
Right, well, I'll be there. Would you like a report on progress so far?
Yes, but it doesn't have to be too detailed. Now, don't let me interrupt your lunch any further. I'll see you at 2 o'clock.
Right.
I just love the class as highlight of the week.
Well, I'm glad you're coming. We could do with some new ideas.
Well, I hope I can help.
Well, so long as you don't take too long with your reports. The meetings are long enough without the education officer going mad.
I know a lot about Hungarian goulash, and what we had just now was not goulash. That was Irish stew. Anyone who knew anything about cooking would know that.
You know, you ought to be on telly, Lizzie.
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you reckon I ought to take some cooking lessons from that Mr. Andrews?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you, Doreen has fallen in love with the teacher.
I have not. I just think he's a nice bloke, that's all.
Tell us what happened on the outside, Jude.
Oh, where do I start, huh?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If I'd known what was going to happen to me while I'm out there, I don't think I would have gone.
Why?
Well, it wasn't worth it, I don't think. A lot of innocent people got hurt because of me. And,
Go on.
well, there's one thing I don't regret for a second.
What's that?
I got Chuck Stewart.
You what?
What did you do?
Well, with a bit of luck, he's behind bars as we speak.
Well, Wonder Woman's got a thing on Judy Bryant.
Wonder Woman didn't have to work in a massage parlor to get her man.
What?
Yeah. You see, Helen found out that he was working the parlor, so I got her to get me a job at the one he went to.
But I can't imagine you working in a parlour.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever done.
Oh, but it was worth it, wasn't it, to get Jock Stewart?
I had to do it. I owed that much to Sharon.
Well, at least you got the bastard.
Now, Judy Bryant.
What sort of a state is she in?
I think it's too early to be sure.
She's still arrogant. These women never learn.
I'd like a close eye kept on her to make sure she gets back into routine. The education program should help.
When will I see her?
Well, I'll try to arrange for you to see her this afternoon, if possible.
Right.
Which brings us to you, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, well, right. I can't report much. I think the initial setting up was always a bit unsettling. However, I would like to ask if I could initiate an interview program where I talk to each of the women and assess their educational needs.
Well, that sounds excellent. What do you think?
I wouldn't believe everything the women tell you.
Well, Lizzie Birdsworth asked me just before I came here to see you about attending classes.
I might as well start with her.
Right.
Good. We'll expect reports on the prison's educational progress.
Thanks, Mrs. Davidson.
Well, how much time will the women be allowed to attend the classes?
What do you think?
I'd imagine it'd depend on each one's ability and inclination. What would be the maximum?
Well, if you have some promising students, I don't see why they couldn't have, say, 5 half days a week.
What about their other duties?
Well, I don't think the laundry will fall apart if a couple of them go off to classes.
They'll all want to be in it just to get out of work.
That hasn't been my experience so far.
Well, why don't you draw up a timetable after you've interviewed the women and we can assess it?
Right.
Well, is there anything else?
Nope.
No. Well, thank you, everyone.
Might as well start with Lizzie.
Okay.
See, I didn't go much on schooling when I was a kid. I mean, it wasn't important for a girl. But I'm no deal.
I can see that.
I reckon I could have done anything if I'd had a chance.
Well, what sort of things would you like to do?
I got it all worked out, and that's why I wanted to see you. I want to be a lawyer. I handled my own case real well last time. And I want to be a horticulturist. You know, one of them fellas that knows all about flowers?
Hold on, Lizzie. You should be a bit realistic.
What do you mean?
Well, you're aiming too high. You should start with the basics.
Yeah, you just listen to me, young fella. I know what I want. You're supposed to help us prisoners, and I'm telling you.
Lizzie, what you're suggesting is ridiculous. Your age, your lack of basic education, it just isn't possible.
You reckon I'm one of them silly old buggers who can't count up to 10, don't you?
No, of course not.
Well, you don't care what we want, do you? Just so long as you get your fat teacher's check each week. You don't give a bugger about us.
Lizzie.
That fella who reckons he's a teacher's not worth talking to.
Look, I don't know what was going on, but you've got to remember to take it easy with her. Apart from the fact that she's 72, she's just out of hospital.
Yes, I know, Jim, but she said she wanted to be a lawyer. All I said was how ridiculous it was. I mean, what else could I say?
Yeah, well, that's your problem. Just don't upset them, that's all. That's how trouble starts.
Yeah, well, I dropped out of high school before I could finish, but I really liked it up to then.
Why'd you leave?
Personal reasons. You wouldn't be interested in that.
Well, it might help.
No, it won't.
you have any ideas on what sort of classes you'd like to do?
Depends what's on offer.
That's a good question. Well, so far I've been teaching fairly basic English and maths and so on, but there's no reason why we can't branch out into more interesting areas.
Such as?
Well, art, for instance, or pottery,